But the whole trial thing, that I think is fascinating. I think one team should make it maybe on points, and one team should make it through trials.
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool. It's been the same as when Eric and I played for the 2000 Olympics. It was your, I want to say it was your top 10 or top 8. Now it's your top 12, right? Over the window, the qualifying window.
Yeah, is it 12?
12.
Yeah, and so I think it was, I want to say it was 8 back then. You could play in as many as you wanted, but it was your top 8. So the system hasn't really changed. And there's always that argument, were you playing hot, were you hot at the beginning of the window, or were you hot?
Yeah.
And, at the end. And it's silly. It's silly if you have a process and then at the end you're like, well, this team's not playing that well. So, I mean, what are we going to do? Like, throw them out? Like,
you can't.
You got to stick with rules. But I think a trials would be great for one team and a points, because then it'd be like, hey, you had your shot at being the best team on points by traveling the world, or here you can prove yourself.
Yeah, here's another shot.
Yeah,
it's
in this trials.
96 model. That's how they did it.
Yeah, we had 3 teams.
Yeah.
And it was so new.
Yeah.
And
the World Tour wasn't much of a challenge at that point, right? From what I understand.
It wasn't it was nowhere near what it is today in terms of depth.
Was it even better than the AVP at the time? Like harder? Like if you're going into one of the events, which one do you think is easier to win at that time? One with AVP teams or international?
Oh man, I'm trying, because I didn't compete in '96, but I did go to the trials, and the thing is, it was a big issue. Like, how are you going to have the first Olympic Games and exclude Karch?
Right.
Or Sinjin, or the top AVP players. So that was unique. It was on U.S. soil. You get that extra bid. So you had 2 teams came from the qualification, which were Mike Dodd and Mike Whitmarsh, the second team, and the first team was Kent and Karch. And then Sinjin and Henkel were the FIVB team. I don't know if a team, maybe Brazil in 2016 might have had 3 teams.
I think that's the only year they've ever
had 3.
Had allotted 3.
Yeah.
Because Ruben Acosta was like, we know that the AVP has the best players, and we're about to go to the U.S., and that was the first year of the Olympics that happened for beach volleyball, and he's like, I want this to be the best product possible.
Yeah.
So we can make an exception and have 3 Americans, and ever since then, the quota's been 2.
Huh.
Yeah, I would like to see that possibly happen. I think it could be really lucrative too. Imagine if you did a series. Maybe it's not one trials. Maybe it's a 3-week series.
I think it's got to be the AVP running it. Like, just make it the AVP Gold Series.
It could be something like that, and but like, imagine something like 3 weeks back to back, like a Gold Series. Yeah. Maybe it's the AVP collaborating with USA Volleyball, because they have to have some synergy there,
which they are doing nowadays. They actually are collaborating.
Got it.
More than ever.
Yeah. Okay. You would know more than
we
me,
actually just had a meeting with the players and Jamie Davis, the CEO, about this exactly. But he said if we run a trial, it's not going to make us money. It's going to cost us money. And if we want to promote the whole Olympic thing, we can't even say the word Olympics. And like this, because they get so, NBC gets so.
Because they own the rights.
You won't even be able to call it an Olympic trial. You won't even be able to say the words Olympics.
But so why? That's an interesting angle.
Because they own that word, I guess, or something.
Right, but
I have no idea.
I mean, you got to get all the powers that be on board.
Yeah, exactly.
But imagine all the people that want to sponsor the Olympics, they would want to sponsor the trials, it would be cool to see. I don't know all the ins and outs.
I voted for a hybrid system.
Yeah.
But most of the players were like, no way, you have to prove yourself. I don't want an AVP team to go. I was like, if it's good for our sport, I'm down. But I completely agree that you need to qualify through the World Tour. That makes sense. But if we can do something really cool for our sport and for our fans, let's go. Yeah. Let's do it.
Well, I think there's a couple elements to it. Is that, one, our guys are not guaranteed to get 2 teams.
Right, yeah.
I mean, we don't. If the Olympics happened right now, we wouldn't have a guys team in the Olympic Games.
Right.
So,
well, that's out of the 3 event system. Right?
Yeah. Like, no matter what system we choose, we still have to follow the IOC rules, which are that to qualify 2 teams from your federation, you have to be in the top 18, 17 in the world? 16. Mm-hmm. You have to be in the top 16, which our women would be fine. I think if, like, say we took our women as an example, I think right now we'd have 4, maybe 5 teams that would have an Olympic spot. You say, all right, number 1, you're in. The rest of the 4, you could do this hybrid model. I think that would be awesome. Like, you do have to be in that top to say, I did qualify for the Olympics, because then the last 2 Olympics, you would have been in the race for this little Olympic trial series because you did qualify on points.
Right.
And you're booted because
so have a baseline
but that would have been too
of being able to be in the trials even.
Right.
Like maybe you have to play an X amount of international events.
Yeah.
You couldn't just show up.
Right.
Right.
And then say if you had played, who was the second team? Jake and Casey, and then Jake and Taylor. Say you played them at the finals of AVP Chicago. Maybe that was your trial for the last spot.
And we just call it that.
Or like
that one match is the trial.
Or you just use the Gold Series points throughout that season or something. Yeah. I think it would be a cool hybrid system.
Yeah.
But we do, it's not like USA can just make up its own rules. Like, oh, we automatically get 2 teams in.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not the case.
Right.
That's true.
But it would be fun.